Call Saul set a ratings record Sunday night with the biggest series premiere in cable history. That's great news for the show. And for Michael Mando, he plays Nacho Varga, a criminal mastermind who in this clip approaches lawyer Saul Goodman.
Who's not yet Saul,
Jimmy,
I might add.
yes, with an offer he probably shouldn't refuse.
Those people that you were trying to scam, how much did they steal?
North of $1.5 million, I think.
So, they have $1.5 million somewhere. In what, cash?
I don't. Why are you asking me?
I'm gonna rip them off.
Oh.
I like ripping off thieves because they can't go to the cops. They have no recourse. You point me at where they have their cash, I'll pay you. What do you call it? A finder's fee. Cops, they have no recourse.
What I love about this thing is your character there, he speaks in a benign way, right? But it's lethal at the same time.
I think he's very intelligent guy.
Yes,
You know,
he is.
Nacho's definitely very ambitious and determined, and he's in it for the long run.
You know, you were not in the original. So when you were told about this, did you have any idea of the whole Breaking Bad-ness of it all?
I discovered Breaking Bad late. I discovered Breaking Bad sort of during the time that I was being cast, and by the time I got the part, I had seen the whole
You become
show.
a binger, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I was definitely a huge fan, and a huge fan of all the actors on Breaking Bad, and a huge fan of Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould's work. So it's a real delight to be on this show.
All right, about you. I mean, by the way, I should tell you, I don't want to give too much away. You actually had saved his life a little bit earlier, but when you went to
Sure,
see it,
I think that's what Nacho would like to think, for
Yeah.
sure.
No,
Because then Jimmy owes me one, right?
And a brutal scene
I was
in the
gonna kick you,
desert.
because when you say, you know, I like to steal from thieves, and I think you're about to make a moral statement.
Right.
And you're going to say because they don't deserve to have, but it's only because they can't go to the
They
cops.
can't go to the
There's
cops,
no-
yeah. Well, he's a man of little words. Who knows what he's really thinking, you know?
Uh-huh.
And that's what's so interesting, to see him up there in the desert and to see him plan ahead what he's going to do in a week and to sort of maneuver that is really exciting.
So we've had 2 episodes. Is this going to be a great partnership, or is this going to create the sliminess that Jimmy becomes
Saul.
into Saul?
You want to
Yeah.
become Saul.
Well, I think that's what's great about the show is who knows? Who knows where it's going? Only Vince and Peter knows, and we'll discover
Yeah.
as the episodes go.
All right, now about you. Some people know you from Orphan Black. Some people, gamers, certainly know you as Vas Montenegro.
Far Cry 3, yes.
Yeah. But you kind of, in this thing, you kind of explode on screen here in this role.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh,
It's
you're
very
more than
nice
welcome.
of you to say.
You're more than welcome. It's a terrific show. It's been really praised, and this time it deserves it.
It lives up,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
But who are you? I was reading
Who am
about
I?
you. You became an actor because somebody shot you in the
Yeah,
knee.
what's
What?
the knee thing?
What?
Yeah. Is that
Explain
true,
that.
or is that a Wikipedia misprint?
Who am I? I feel like it's a big existential question.
Yeah, it is an
I'm still trying to
existential
figure it out.
question. Yes.
But, so what was the question?
No. You can't do that. You're going to fill in the silence here.
What do you want me to answer?
Why
Which one
did
is it?
you
Yeah.
became an actor not when you were 12, you were in your 20s, I think.
I came into acting later in my life, and what really attracted me was in theater school, our teachers really were talking about words like humanity, about making a difference, and I was introduced to Shakespeare and Ibsen and Arthur Miller, and I was so attracted by the literature and the words. And that's really what got me into acting. It was theater.
So, given that,
Right.
what role did getting shot in the knee play here?
Yes.
Oh, God. That was, how do I put that? I come from a good family. You know, my father really took care of us and raised us right. But I was a younger guy. I was getting into trouble, unfortunately, and I made mistakes. And that was a dark period in my life that is well behind me now, and
Okay.
here I am.
But is that what you use then? I mean, everyone talks about diving into the past to get to...
Well, everything that you go through in life for sure affects you and for sure comes out in whatever you do, whether it's an actor or a painter or a musician or, you know, even a TV host. So I'm sure your life experiences do play a role in your artistic creation.
You grew up in Canada.
Right.
You moved around a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw where you said, you know, it's great because when you move around a lot, you experience a lot, you take a lot in, you learn a lot, but you have no home.
You know what's interesting? People ask me where home is, and I think all of Earth is home. And I really mean that, you know, not to sound sort of overly optimistic, but I think when you travel around a lot, you realize that our differences in the cultures that we are actually bring us closer together. And you start having a lot of empathy for the people and being very open-minded to doing things differently. So I would call home is where the heart is, you know, and if your heart is stable all the time, then you're home all the time.
You're home in LA now, right?
I feel home in LA. I love
Yeah.
LA.
And you're moving here now?
You moved?
I've moved to here because I followed Bob Odenkirk's advice. He's the one who kind of put a little bit of pressure on me.
Right.
I was a bit, I think, afraid to make that jump.
Well, Bob Odenkirk, who stars as eventually as Saul,
Yeah.
Right.
knows this business really well.
He's
seen
been
every
a-
side
he's
of it.
been
yes.
around, right?
I can tell you, Bob is one of the most well-read individuals I've ever met. He's one of the most intelligent, funny, and caring guy. He's been like a big brother, a mentor to me in many ways, and I'm extremely grateful to call him a friend.
I love his bathroom scenes where he's psyching himself to
Oh,
go
he's
in.
wonderful, isn't he?
to go
Yeah.
into the courtroom, and
He's so endearing. I love.
so slimy.
But he does also reminds me of Lisa Breckenridge, whom I'm sitting here with before you go on the air.
I can do it.
You do that.
I can
It's
do it.
showtime.
It's
folks.
showtime.
I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it.
Well,
Yeah.
So for people, we have to let you go real quickly, but for people who did not see
Breaking Bad. Right.
you can still get into it this way.
Oh, you don't have to.
there's
You
no-
don't have to. It's totally a standalone.
yeah.
It's a brand new show. It's not season 6 of Breaking Bad. It's season 1 of Better Call Saul. That being said, the fans of Breaking Bad are going to
Yes.
have these Easter eggs throughout. So if you are a Breaking fan, you're gonna revel in it. And if you're not a Breaking fan, then hopefully you're going to enjoy it for what it is.
And there's a little more twinkle in this one.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, there's a little. I don't want to say it's more comedic because we have some really dark
Right, no, but-
episodes as well. It's sounded like anything you've ever seen. I really think so. It's
He's
really
just so
different.
desperate. It's just so like.
No, not him. You're talking
No,
about.
not you.
You're
yeah.
talking about Jimmy McGill.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? He becomes Saul Goodman, the guy who's so comfortable in his own skin.
Right.
Starts off as this
Yeah.
guy who, like you say, is so uncomfortable in his own skin, and that transformation is what Better Call Saul's
You're a
about.
good guy. Thank you for
I know,
coming in.
Thank you
So
so
nice
much
to
for having me.
meet you.
Thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Michael Mann, thank you. Better Call Saul. When does he become Saul, by the way?
You know what?
I've seen 2
this happened
episodes.
6 years before Breaking Bad, so that's
Okay.
when this is taking place. But we are going to jump in time in the future,
All right.
during. Who knows?
In
We'll
other
see.
words, you're not going to answer.
Okay.
All right, Better Call Saul, Monday nights, 10 o'clock on AMC. Congratulations.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
It's
Thanks
really
for having
fun.
me.